¿Quieres los mejores productos al mejor precio? Pues en la caja de descripción encontrarás enlaces patrocinados por el canal, con los que podrás encontrar descuentos exclusivos y grandes precios. Sigue el enlace para videojuegos y accede a Instant Gaming, preparada para todas las plataformas. Y para el resto de tus compras, por supuesto, accede a Amazon. Compra Seguro y ayudarás al canal. Y ahora, disfruta del vídeo. Hasta más ver. Muy buenas a todos, jóvenes, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a Juegos Perdidos y bienvenidos nuevamente a Maldad Bajo el Sol. Para mí es un placer poder contar con vuestra compañía. Muchísimas gracias por el apoyo al canal y a esta aventura gráfica que de momento me está gustando bastante, ¿eh? Me está entreteniendo y espero que también a vosotros, ¿eh? Si es así, pues recordad darle un like y suscribiros, por favor. Vale, con vuestro permiso, yo creo que voy a bajar un poquito más el volumen de la música. Vale, yo creo que así estará más aceptable. Bueno, hemos hecho algunas cositas. Lo más reseñable hasta el momento ha sido que entramos en el despacho de la gerente del hotel y en su caja fuerte nos encontramos con una sorpresa mayúscula. Datos que tienen que ver con códigos para avisar a los alemanes. Recordad que estamos en plena Segunda Guerra Mundial, para avisar a los alemanes en caso de que no sé, parece que es como si fuera una especie de espía, ¿no? Hemos divisado que hay submarinos, en fin, interesante. Hemos estado todo este rato sin música, de repente hay música, pero estridente.
Useful fellow, repairs both motor cars and boats.
Vale, ya se corta un poco la música.
Not much can be done with that old skiff. The thing it is falling to pieces.
Hello.
Who is this, please?
Pensaba que era para llamar para volver otra vez, ¿recordáis? Porque nosotros estamos en una isla y ya le hemos vuelto, por decirlo de alguna forma, al continente y hemos ido con ese motocarro. Es muy curioso, ¿no? Con ese barco que funciona, va con ruedas y que va, porque como resulta que estamos relativamente cerca y hay poca profundidad, pues vamos con ese barco que está preparado en el caso de que subiera la marea, pues también poder deslizarse. Entonces, vale, hemos entrado aquí, no sabemos por qué. Realmente la idea de venir aquí, ahora mismo no recuerdo exactamente cuál era. Volver el libro y encontrar un regalo de aniversario para que Carrie se lo dé a Oakley. Vale, muy bien, entonces esto tendremos que venir. Tendrá que ser aquí sí o sí. Hombre.
Hands off me tools. Hands off me tools.
Vale, estas herramientas las podríamos coger, pero tenemos que pedirle permiso primero.
Ready to head back to the island, Mr. Poirot?
Not quite yet.
I know we haven't been properly introduced, but I'm Will Jenks, and
Anda,
I've
mira.
heard you're a
I am the detective, it is true. But famous? No. That is something of an exaggeration.
Steady on, old boy.
Ah, Hastings, you caution me against braggadocio, so I display modesty, and still you find fault.
It's my young lady, Gladys. Maybe you've seen her at the Smuggler's Rest?
Sí, y aparte está muy disgustada, mira, justo. Bien, Sur.
Bien, you are a lucky young man.
I do know that, Mr. Poirot. Not many girls in these parts can hold a candle to my Gladys, but lately she's been very distant to me.
She is of the opinion that you are seeing someone else.
But that's nonsense.
Someone she called only the slip of a girl?
But who? She means that Marshall girl what arrived a few days ago. She's been following me about ever since I first took him across on the sea tractor.
La chiquilla.
Have you encouraged Madame Marshall?
I should hope not. Why, she's just a kid. She'd be in school if she wasn't tossed out of that posh girls' school of hers.
In some ways, yes. Perhaps she is, as you say, still the kid. In others, who can tell? Where has she followed you?
She'll call for the sea tractor. I'll bring her across. Then she'll want to go right back to the island again. Then she's always hanging about the garage here. I think she may be a thief too.
What makes you say that?
Well, my shovel's gone missing, hasn't it? And I first noticed it were gone right after one of her visits here. You believe me, don't you, Mr. Poirot?
Yes, but it is not important that I believe you. It is Gladys who must believe.
I'll wring that Linda Marshall's neck for her.
I will have the talk with Mademoiselle Marshall. In the meantime, there will be no wringing of the necks.
Qué bestia.
Promise me.
I promise.
Le romperá el cuello. Un poco bestia, ¿no?
Motor cars hold no interest for Poirot.
You can be quite frustrating at times, Poirot.
Poirot does...
Dash it all, Poirot, your little idiosyncrasies are infuriating.
Nonsense. They are a part of my charm.
Son parte de mi encanto.
Hands off me tools.
Las manos fueras. Pues aquí tenemos herramientas, sí, necesarias. Necesarias. 3 herramientas que dan la sensación de que son muy necesarias. No sabemos para qué. Y también tenemos aquí cositas. Me ha dicho una pala.
This is neither the time nor the place. I do not think...
Bueno, plataforma flotante. A lo mejor haya algo que podamos darle a este hombre. No parece que tengamos nada que le pueda interesar. Y hablar más no vamos a poder hablar.
Like a ride to the island?
No.
No, merci.
Ah, vale, este es el que nos lleva a la isla. Vale, perfecto. Bueno, pues vamos a por aquí. Vamos a
The
echar un vistazo.
village is practically abandoned.
¿Esta es la biblioteca? Pues vamos a tener suerte, va a ser que sí. Sí. Tiene pinta de que es la biblioteca. Folleto de St. Patrick. Un folleto exaltando las maravillas de St. Patrick in the Cove. Vale. St. Patrick in the Cove es un exquisito ejemplo de la iglesia de piedra rural construida en los siglos XIV y XV. Contiene una pila bautismal normanda de piedra de Cornualles erosionada, un biombo pintado y algunos fragmentos de vidrieras de la misma época. La iglesia se encuentra en una pista que parte hacia el oeste desde la encrucijada del Abingdon Gifford Harrington y abastece a las cabañas y las granjas dispersadas por esa pintoresca y apartada porción de la llanura. Es un agradable paseo de solo 4 kilómetros desde Abingdon Gifford y no más de 11 kilómetros de Bahía Cañada de Cuero. La ruta de Bahía Cañada de Cuero en concreto se encuentra sobre la hermosa campiña de Devon y es altamente recomendable. El Devon. Más o menos cerca de la región del Devon es donde transcurre hipotéticamente los hechos acaecidos en la novela de los 10 negritos de Agatha Christie, en la Isla del Negro. O la Isla del Negro o del Náufrago, según la versión. Vale, folleto de St. Patrick, me quedo igual. Otra cosa más que cogemos. Para variar. Vale, aquí...
Yes? Did I keep you waiting? I'm afraid I'm not myself today. I'm ever so distracted trying to solve this mystery.
A mystery? Sounds promising.
What is the nature of your mystery, madame?
Several letters have gone missing over the past few days. I can't understand it. I'm terribly conscientious with the post, I promise you. Someone must be stealing them.
Were the letters valuable?
No. They were important to my customers who were expecting them, perhaps, but none contained money or anything like that. Still, my customers are complaining and I'm at a loss to explain it.
Iba a decir que como sabe ella que no llevaba dinero, pero claro, se lo pueden decir los propios destinatarios. Pueden decir, oye, que estoy esperando una carta. ¿Lleva dinero? No, no, no. Pero es importante, por lo que sea.
Let's see. That will be 5 pence, if you please, sir.
¿Y qué porras es eso?
Thank you for your business, sir.
Pues nada, he comprado algo que no sabemos qué es. Anda, me he gastado el dinero, o sea que ya no tengo dinero. Qué crack. Blog de dibujo. Oh, amigo. Blog de bocetos de Christine Redfer. Bueno, esto puede servirle a la que está haciendo dibujos, justamente.
May I help you, sir?
Quiere volver un libro a la señora
I
Castle.
am returning a book for Mrs. Castle.
Oh, Love's Captive by Mrs. Arabella Richardson. I've read that one. It's a classic.
How anyone can call that rot a classic is beyond me.
I agree, Hastings, but we should not judge.
You're right, of course, old man. Not everyone can appreciate true classics like Rough Shooting or By Motor Across Asia.
Good day, madame.
Vale,
We have quite a few books for sale, sir.
vale, ya parece ser que no. Mira, hay un gatete. Madre mía.
I'm sorry, sir. You mustn't touch that. I use the test tubes to test for chemicals and to make up the various solutions and powders I dispense by prescription, and the microscope to look for impurities.
Wow.
It is a shame not to have access to the equipment, Hastings. It would be handy to be able to test various substances you come across in your investigation.
Sustancias.
I'm sorry, sir.
It is a shame...
Bueno,
May I help you, sir?
No, me...
bueno, me quedo igual. Está por todas partes esta mujer. Nuevo banco de comercio fácil en Londres, no sé qué. Ah, eso es para enviar un telegrama.
Thank you, sir. I'll send it off directly.
Bueno, no sé qué es lo que...
Madame, what is the name of this creature?
That's my Chloe. Isn't she a cutiekins?
Delightful.
Encantadora.
Are there any telegrams for me?
I'll just check. Sorry, sir. Nothing at the moment.
Vale, pues lo tiene todo, ¿eh? Tiene farmacia, tiene biblioteca y tiene también para telegramas. Está guay. Es un poco de todo, ¿eh? Muy común en aquellas épocas, ¿no? Que una misma tienda tuviera todo, abasteciera a todo el pueblo.
The door? It is boarded up. They must have evacuated some time ago.
Para que no entre. Este es el pub.
Look at the size of that brute. A life ring, boy. Very handy if the pub should start to sink.
Like to try your hand at a game of darts?
No merci.
Maybe later then.
Perhaps.
Sí, el formidable perro.
Does that formidable dog belong to you?
Yes, that's Baskerville. I've had him since he was a small... well, he was never that small.
Not many customers today.
What can you expect? Most of the town has been evacuated. And very few tourists turn up these days.
You enjoy the playing of the darts?
Darts is my game, right enough. It's been a tradition in these parts for centuries. Did you know the famous smuggler Tom Cutter was an expert dartsman?
No, I did not.
Struth. He played at the Smuggler's End almost every night when he wasn't out at sea. A masterful player was old Tom. They say he scored more ton 80s than anyone before or since.
Ton 80s, Hastings.
The highest possible score in a single throw, Poirot. 3 darts, all inside the inner narrow ring of the 20 wedge.
I trust Baskerville is the excellent watchdog.
Oh, hey. We have never had any trouble in here since Baskerville's come of age. Can't train him to do anything, of course. But with Baskerville, growling works a treat.
Has Baskerville ever bitten anyone?
Well, doesn't need to, does he? All he has to do is growl.
Have you ever seen Tom Cutter's ghost?
No, but I've heard of them that has. If I was lucky enough to meet up with a ghost, I'd challenge him to a game of darts.
And how did he die?
He was hanged by the excise men from the Smuggler's End sign. It's said he walks again every year on the anniversary of his death.
And on what day did he die?
August 24th, that's right. Tonight is the anniversary of Tom Cutter's murder.
Monsieur Cutter lived at the Smuggler's End?
Hey, it was the only lodging on the island until the hotel was built a few years ago.
Do you know anything of Tom Cutter's treasure?
A lot of folk have looked high and low for the treasure, but no one's found so much as a farthing in all these years.
Thank you for the conversation, my friend.
Stop in any time. Maybe we can have a darts match.
Ok.
Please, leave me alone.
Bonjour, Colonel Weston.
Poirot, my old friend. What brings you to Leathercombe Bay?
A short trip to the seaside to replenish their little grey cells.
You stopping at the Smuggler's Rest? Damn shame, old man. I expect to get orders to close up the hotel any day now. This is one of the last coastal areas to be evacuated.
Este es el dueño del hotel.
You're in charge of the home guard?
Yes, I've set up camp in the Leathercombe Bay police station now that their constables left for Modbury to help there.
Dangerous times, Colonel.
Indeed. I have spotters up and down the stretch of coastline. We've had several sightings of U-boats quite close to shore this month alone.
Justamente.
Mon Dieu! When?
Let's see. August 5th, the 13th, the 16th, and again just last night, the 23rd.
Poirot, those dates don't match at all with Mrs. Castle's calendar.
Eso es. No coinciden.
It is true what you say, Hastings.
Es lo que estábamos en... Es verdad, yo no me acordaba del calendario. Encontramos un calendario en su caja fuerte y había ciertos días marcados que parecía como una especie de U y no sabíamos si era que tenía que informar o si era que aparecía el submarino. Puede ser que se refiera a otra cosa y puede ser que a lo mejor no sea una espía o puede que sí. Esto estamos aquí teorizando.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters about?
Any stranger is suspicious these days. Did you have someone specifically in mind?
I came upon a man who called himself North. He seemed to be trying to gain entry to the Smuggler's End pub.
I have the only key. If he's that thirsty, he'll have to come over here to the mainland or break in. I'll keep a lookout for him. If you could get me a picture, I could send it off to Scotland Yard and see if they can come up with anything.
May I borrow the key to the Smuggler's End? I would like to see if I can discover what interests him.
Be my guest. Regular law enforcement stretched pretty thin these days.
Bien.
Is that your stethoscope?
Belongs to Dr. Neasden, a local coroner. He left it here last night. I was going to return it to him.
Say, that would work a treat if we wanted to listen at doors.
May I borrow it?
Practicing medicine without a license, Poirot.
It may be useful. One never knows.
You're welcome to it. I'm sure Neasden has others.
Do you have the file of the Millie Parsons murder case?
Yes, at my office in Kingsbridge. A bad business. I'll have it sent over this afternoon.
Many thanks, Colonel.
All right, Poirot. We've known each other a good many years. You need a stethoscope? And the key to the pub? You'll forgive my saying so, but this sounds like a busman's holiday to me. If you are onto something, don't you think you'd better share?
My friend, I have only the suspicions. But yes, I think there may be some cloud hanging over Seadrift Island. A number of items have gone missing. There is tension in the air. It was never my intention to take on a case here. But now, my visit may have become what you say, the busman's holiday.
Well, let me know if you uncover any serious evidence of a crime. I'll be here in Leathercombe Bay tomorrow if you need me.
Many thanks, my friend.
I'm off now, over to Kingsbridge for a district guard meeting.
Farewell.
Genial.
Fancy a short game, sir? 3 throws each?
¿Por qué no? Vamos a probar suerte, a ver qué
I
pasa.
will try my luck.
Oh, I pegged you for a sporting gentleman the moment you first walked in here. We each start with 301 points. I don't have time for a complete game, I'm afraid. Whoever hits the highest score subtracts that from 301. We'll declare him the winner. Go on, you go first.
Muy malo.
Bad luck, Poirot.
El que tenga menos, gana.
Fancy a short game, sir? 3 throws each?
No, merci.
Oh, as you like. Maybe later.
Tal vez a lo mejor... Algo hay que hacer para que... Lo mismo hay que hacer alguna trampa o algo, no sé. Pudiera ser, ya me lo creo todo. Pero es curioso, que podamos jugar.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Hello, a new face. Join me, sir. Blatt's the name. Horace Blatt.
Hercule Poirot.
Hairdresser, are ya?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I dunno. Something about your manner.
I am not a dresser of hairs. I am a detective.
A detective?
Oui, it is true. I arrived only last night.
Este es el que está siempre con la vela roja por ahí dando vueltas.
You are the avid seller, Monsieur Blatt.
Used to sail quite a bit as a boy. Not this part of the world. Off the east coast. I could have a first-rate yacht if I liked, but somehow I don't really fancy it. Much rather muck about in that little yawl of mine.
You would rather do the sailing yourself, perhaps? Rather than a crew?
Got it in one, Monsieur Poirot. I like being in control, I suppose. Feeling the boat respond as I put her through her courses. Same with business too, come to think of it. Made me what I am today. You've heard of Blatt's Hardware, I'm sure.
I may have.
Biggest concern of its kind in London.
It is not often one sees this sailboat with a red sail.
Oh, I like a bit of change. No harm in it, I suppose.
None at all.
Lo que pasa es que llama mucho la atención. Llama mucho la atención y ahora en medio de una guerra llevar una vela roja no tiene mucho sentido porque, vamos, estás diciendo estoy aquí.
What brings you to Seadrift Island?
Don't really know why I came here. I suppose it sounded romantic. Smuggler's Rest. Makes you think of when you were a boy. Pirates, smuggling, all that.
What do you think of our fellow guests?
Mostly a dried up lot of sticks if you ask me. That Mrs. Marshall, she's the only lively one in the place. I should think Marshall's got his hands full with her. Oh, Redfern's all right too, I guess. He's been out once or twice with me in my yawl. Can't get hold of him now, always hanging about Mrs. Marshall. Afraid I have to run over to Kingsbridge.
You would sail no more this afternoon?
I think not. Saw a bank of fog sitting off the coast when I was out before. Expect it'll roll in before evening. Wouldn't want to get caught in it along this coast. Good day to you, Monsieur Poirot.
La verdad es que, madre
Now,
mía.
why should the fact that you're a detective get his wind up?
Hmm.
Poirot!
Hairdresser?
Peluquero. Eso le ha molestado. Que los diálogos están por ejemplo, están mejor, van un poco en la línea de los anteriores juegos, más o menos. En el primero y no quedó ninguno, la verdad es que eran un desastre, no tenía ningún tipo era simplemente hablar, preguntarle todo lo mismo y ya está, y no había nada más. Aquí le dan un poquito de vida a los diálogos, pero sí que a veces son cortantes, como ahora mismo, está hablando tal y de repente tengo que irme y se va. Ahí es un poquito cortante, eso es poco natural, pero bueno, podemos tampoco pedir más, supongo. Estamos abriendo mapa ahora mismo, no estamos... Parece ser que allí al fondo no podemos ir. Vale, pues... El tema de coger cosas, de momento es cierto que tenemos bastantes objetos, pero no es como en el anterior juego, en el que no parábamos de coger cosas, y menos todavía como el primero, y no quedó ninguno, que eso era una locura. Interactuabas con todo.